Hello everyone, I hope everyone is safe and doing good. Welcome back to my channel Trick or Treat with Mathematics. So as the title suggested, today we will be seeing everything in depth about step function or greatest integer function, or also called as floor function. So this video is similar to my previous video that I have done, that is on modulus function. If you haven't watched that video yet, I will link it up here for you to watch. But the structure of this video is similar to the structure of my previous video on modulus. Today I will be covering in depth about this particular special function. I will show you what exactly it means with examples. I will draw the graph. I will make you understand how to draw the graph of the greatest integer function along with a few examples. So if you are new to my channel, hi, I am Deepthi. Welcome to my channel. In this channel, I will cover everything that you need to know about mathematics. I will cover all the fundamentals of all the important concepts so that you can use these while solving problems anywhere you go or anytime you want. So please consider subscribing down below if you are new to my channel, and please share my channel to as many as you can and help me grow on this platform. So without wasting any more time, now let's jump right into the video. So what is the greatest integer function? Greatest integer function can be defined as a real valued function, that is a function if you define this function from R to R, then the greatest integer function or step function, or also called as floor function, can be defined as f of x is equal to, you write this as step of x, or you can also write this as this. Okay, what does this mean? This means that whenever there is a value inside the square brackets, you need to pick up the greatest value that is less than x. That is the meaning of greatest integer function. That means, for example, if you say step of 2.54, you need to pick a value that is less than 2.54, but the greatest value. That means you need to pick the greatest value less than x. In here, what is the x value here? Here x is what? 2.54. So what is the greatest integer that you can pick from this 2, which is less than x, right? So step of x in this case can be written as, here x, if you are considering this as 2.54, then step of x is 2. That means you should always remember that this value is nothing but an integer. We need to pick up a greatest integer that is less than x. Okay, that is the meaning of step function. That is the reason why we call this as floor function also, because you are picking up a value that is less than x here. That means you are picking up the bottom value. It's the bottom value. If you say 2.54 is here, you are picking up 2. What is the top value? Will be 3 if you round it down. In this case, you are rounding down the value. But in this case, when 2.54 is changed to 3, you are rounding it up. Right. So in step function, you will be rounding down the value to 2. That means you are picking up the greatest integer that is less than x. Here you can say, if I ask you to just pick up the greatest integer, I would say just pick up the integer that is less than x. In here 2.54, what will you say? You say all integers such as 1, -1, 0, 2, all these are less than x, right? But what is the speciality of the step function? It will allow you to round down the value, and then it will allow you to pick up the greatest value that is nearer to x. Okay, that is called as greatest integer function. And when you are rounding up the value, when you want to round up 2.54, then you will get 3, right? Because that is the rounding up to 3, right? That means in this case, you are picking up the ceiling of x. Ceiling of x means the top value. That is, you are rounding up this value. So, you are getting 3 as the value. That is the reason we call this a ceiling function. But in greatest integer function or step function, we call it function as floor function because we are picking up the greatest integer that is less than x. Okay. This is the fundamental difference that you need to understand in order to differentiate the greatest integer function from the ceiling function. We are not rounding up the value in case of greatest integer function. We are rounding down the value in case of greatest integer function. That is the reason why it is called as greatest integer function or it is called as floor function. But why are we calling this as step function? I'll keep you in mystery right now, but after drawing the graph of this function, you'll understand why we are calling the greatest integer function as step function. Okay, so this is what a greatest integer function means. That f of x is minus 15.6978. Okay, so this is the value that I am giving you. Because this is in square brackets, you are assuming that, okay, fine, the moment you want to find the value of f of x and the moment you see these brackets, you wanted to find the step of the function or you wanted to find the greatest integer value of the function. We know that for greatest integer value, we round down the value of x here. So here, what do you think is x? X is minus 15.6978, right? So if you draw a number line, assume this is a number line, okay. So you say that this is 15, this is minus 16, this is minus 14 and this is minus 17. Okay, and this is minus 13 for example. You know that this particular value lies between these two, minus 15 and minus 16, right? But here we want to round down the value. Round down the value means we want a value that is less than minus 15, but it is the greatest value that is nearer to minus 15, right? In this case, what do you think is the value that is nearer to minus 15, that is the greatest value, but it is less than minus 15? Is it not minus 16, right? Because minus 16 is less than minus 15 because it's towards the left of the number line. So in here, can we not write this as minus 15 less than or equal to x less than minus 16 less than or equal to x less than minus 15? Right? Because we are rounding down minus 15 to minus 16 as it is the greatest value that is less than x. Okay, so can we not write the step of minus 15.6978 as minus 16? Right? So this we are denoting in this interval form. That is how you find the step or the greatest integer value of a function. Okay, now for example, here you know for a fact that this is not an integer. This is a decimal part, right? So now how are we rounding them off? We are rounding them by taking only the integral part. We are not considering this decimal. We are just calculating the integral part and then we are just saying that, okay, fine, I need to round it off to the nearest integer that is less than x, but it is greatest value, right? So that is how we are considering only the integral part here. However, whenever I have given you such examples, say, for example, I give you what is the step of 48. What will you say? It is plain integer, right? If you remember, we've defined this function as function r to r. So here, x can be any real number, right? So integers are a part of real numbers. Decimals are also part of real numbers. Negative numbers are part of real numbers. But in this case, when I am giving you an integer directly in this step, what do you think is the value? Here, what is the value that is less than x, but it is greatest value? The greatest value that is less than x, in other words, it's just x itself, right? It is 48 only. There is no range that this particular value falls between. That means we can't define this like this, isn't it? Because it's just like between 47 and 49, that's it, isn't it? So the greatest integer value, if you write as an integer here, that is x is 48 in this case, then it will just be 48. So step of any integer is just the integer. Step of any fraction will be the integral part where you need to consider the greatest value that is less than x, and this is called the fractional part. Okay, so this is how you determine the greatest integer value of a particular function or particular x. Alright, now with this in mind, how do you define the domain of this function? It's very clear that if f is a function from R to R, and if you say f of x is a function wherein x belongs to R, then the domain of the greatest integer function, is it not all real numbers? Yes, because we are passing real numbers into this square brackets. But what do you observe from the range of the greatest integer function? Don't you think that the range of the greatest integer function is integers? Because we are getting finally as integer only. We are getting the final value as integer itself. We are not getting some fractional. We are rounding down the value so that we get another integer value that is closest to x. Right. So that means anywhere in these examples, did you see that we are getting the fractional part along with the integer result? No, we are only getting the integer value. That is the reason why we can define the range of the greatest integer function as z. Okay, so this is how you determine the greatest integer value. So in short, how do you pictorially represent this step function? You can say that if this is the step function, or you can say this is step function, right? This is the floor function, step function, both are greatest integer functions. We can write the definition of this as maximum of y to z where y is less than or equal to x, right? That means this is in short saying that there is an integer y that is less than or equal to x, but it is the maximum integer that you need to consider. That's it. Whatever we have discussed so far in the last 8 to 9 minutes is nothing but this definition, right? So keeping this definition in mind, how do you solve these examples? For example, I'll say what is the floor of 2.9? How do you get? Don't you get 2? Then what is the step of, I would say minus 3.75. What do you get? Minus 4, because minus 4 is the nearest value, that is less than x but is the greatest value. Then what do you think is step of 0? Is it 0? Yes. If it is 0.5, what do you get? Minus 5 and so on. That means this function, if you pass a value to this function f of x is equal to step of x, you are getting a constant value in return from a specific interval. In here, the interval is nothing but minus 1 less than equal to f of x less than 0. Right. And in here, what will be the interval? There is no interval because it's just the constant value that we are passing and we are getting a constant value in return. Okay. So this is a few examples on step function. Alright. Now how do you represent this pictorially? Say that 0 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. This is the input. Okay. 1 is less than or equal to is less than 2. And 2 is less than or equal to is less than 3. And if you are passing this input to a machine or a computer that has the definition of the greatest integer function, then what do you get as the output here? You get the output as, if you say this is the input and this is the output, get the output for this input as what? 0. Because if x is between this, then you get 0. When x is between 1 and 2, you get 1, and when x is between 2 and 3, you get 2. Right? So, what are we doing here? Even though if you consider x to be 0.9999, that is nearest to 1, if you put the step of this function, you would still consider the greatest integer that is less than x, that in this case it's 0. That is the reason why we are getting the output as 0, because we have less than or equal to here. Okay, same applies to this. So this entire step function can be represented in the form of piecewise function. modulus, step, these are all piecewise functions because it will get different values based on the intervals that we choose for that function. Okay, in here, how do you write this step function as piecewise function? You would say that f of x is equal to step of x, which is equal to this minus 2, here minus 2 less than or equal to s less than 1, minus 1 less than or equal to s less than 0, 0 will be 0 less than x less than 1 and so on. Like that you are defining, you are saying that when x falls between minus 2 and 1, you'll get minus 2. When x falls between 0 and minus 1, you'll get minus 1 and so on. This is how you're splitting the values of function based on the definition of that function. That is the reason why you call this step, or you call the modulus or signum. All these are piecewise functions. Okay. So this is all you need to know about the greatest integer function. Now using this concept in mind, now let's try to plot a graph. So how do you typically construct any graph or plot any graph? I have shown you in my previous videos that it is always easy to draw a graph when you assume a set of values. Right, in a table you assume that okay fine, these are the x values, and if I put these x values in that function, I will get y values as an output. And if you plot the corresponding xy values in this graph, say horizontal is the x-axis and vertical is the y-axis, then you will get a curve or a straight line or any lines for that matter on this graph, and then you will get a graph of a particular function. Am I right? So this is the typical method that we use to build a graph. However, this step function or greatest integer function, it's a bit different when it comes to this. Usually here we consider intervals and then plot a graph. So in short, in step function we are working with intervals and end points to plot the graph. So if you fill a circle like this, right? Say for example, this is a circle here, okay? If you do not fill that circle, then you call this as open dot. If you fill a circle, then you call this as closed dot. These two you need to remember. That means we are including this value as a result, but we are not including this value as a result. Why do we have these two dots? And we will draw a line to represent that this is the interval from the closed dot to open dot where x falls between. But we end up choosing the closed dot because we want the integer that is less than x but greatest value. Okay, so that is the reason why we consider these two dots. So closed dot will be filled circle, and open dot is the unfilled circle. So closed dot is the smallest integer and open dot is the largest integer. Okay, so that is how we represent the greatest integer graphs. Now, using this knowledge, what I have done is I have taken the liberty to draw a few intervals here so that I want to represent these in this graph. Okay, now what I have done is I have built up a table as I usually do for plotting any graphs. I have written the x value here. I said that x falls between this range, and I want to find the step of x for this range. Then the closed dot, whatever I shown you, right? The closed dot is the filled dot. This dot will show you what and where exactly you need to put this dot in this table. But this dot, the unfilled circle, will show you the open dot, as in we are not considering that, but that is in the interval of that value x. So for example, now let's put this to practice. Minus 3 comma minus 2. Here I have shown you in detail about the intervals in my introduction video of functions. You can see that video if you do not understand the intervals, but you know for a fact that the square bracket indicates that we are including that value which is towards the left here, and then close brackets indicate that we are not including the value towards the right here, right? So in this case we are saying that x is what? Minus 3 less than or equal to x less than 2, right? That means we are including minus 3 but we are not including minus 2. So what will be the step of x here? That means x falls between minus 2 and minus 3. It can be minus 2.5, minus 2.45, etc. So in here step of x will be what? Minus 3, because we need to get the greatest value that is less than x. So in this case it is minus 3. What is the closed dot? That means here closed dot includes the smallest integer, right? Here smallest integer is -3. So the closed dot will be -3 comma -3, right? And what will be the open dot? As in the other end, at the largest integer. So the open dot will be, -2 comma -3, right? Because we want the largest integer to be open but the smallest integer to be included, because the step function includes the smallest value, right? It is the greatest value that is less than x. So how do we plot this particular thing on the graph? First, the green one is the graph, you see that. First we are saying that x lies between -3 and -2. Okay, so now go to this place, -3, -2, and here we know that -3 is the step of x value. That means it is smallest value. So what do? We'll say that we'll go here because it's negative value. We'll fill this circle. Okay. Because we are getting the result as -3. Why is -3 here? So we need to fill this circle, and you need to indicate that this range, whatever value that falls between this range, will have -3 only as an answer, right? So -2 will be the open circle, open dot, because -2 we are not including, -3 we are including, right? Because also -3 is the greatest value that is less than x. And then you just draw a line. That's it. This means that you are getting -3 as a value whenever you choose the x value between -2 and -3, and when you apply step to it. Okay, and the line and this circle indicates that x can fall anywhere between, starting from -2.111 or 2.00, -2.00, but not 2 and 3, ending with -3. Okay, this is how you draw a step function. Now let's go to the next one. Here -2 comma -1. So what is, why here it is nearer to -2? So we put it as what? -2. Okay, because that means y can fall anywhere between -1, x can fall anywhere between -1 and -2, but we get when you apply the step value, you will get -2 only, because it is the greatest integer that is less than x. Now what is the closed dot in this case? Where we have to put this closed dot? We need to put it as -2 comma -2, right? So now let's directly jump to this. So we are saying this is the range, sorry, this is the value. So for -2 you're getting -2 only directly, but open dot will be from -1 comma -2, because anywhere between -1 and -2, if you define x, you will get -2 as the y value, right? So we define that. Now next, -1 comma 0. You'll get what? -1, because that is the greatest integer that is less than x, and closed dot will be for -1, but open dot will be for 0 comma -1, right? Now how do you write this? -1, for -1 and 0 you get what? -1 closed dot, because for -1 you get -1, and then draw a line, draw open here, because any value that is nearer to 0 also will get -1 only as the greatest integer that is less than x. Now let's jump to the positive side of it. Here we are saying 0 is inclusive and 1 is not inclusive. So any value between 0 and 1, you get 0 only as the answer. And the closed dot will be at 0, open dot will be at what? 1 comma 0. Right. Now, here, closed dot it as 0. So we'll mark this as 0. That means for 0 also we get 0. But any value that falls between 0 and 1, we get what? 0 only. So, just draw this line and just put this as open circle. That's it. That means this indicates that x falls between 0 and 1, but we get the value as 0 only as the answer. Okay. Now, again, similarly for 2 comma 3, fill in the table, but I'm just writing it there. For 1 comma 2, sorry, you get 1 here, and you get 1 comma 1 here, and here you get what? 2 comma 1. Right. So now here we are going to 1. We are saying that For 1 we will get 1 only, but when you have a value between 1 and 2, you will again get 1 only on the y-axis. Okay. And for 3, we get 3 only, but it extends to 4. That is how you draw the greatest integer function graph. This, if you understand, this is extremely easy, but you need to know how this graph is different from other graphs. That is the only thing that you need to keep in mind in order to draw this graph. And let me tell you, all the problems, difficult problems associated with this topic are around graphs. So you need to understand how to draw the greatest integer function graph. Okay, now you understood why it's called a step function, because it's like a staircase. That's why it's called as a step function. Okay, so this is how you draw the greatest integer function graphs. So there are two ways in which you will be asked questions in your exam. One would be on this concept here. I have shown you how to draw this table, how to fill this table, and based on this table how to draw this graph. Right. So similarly what they'll ask you is, they'll ask you to plot the graph or give you the options, and they'll ask you what is the graph of this function or what is the graph of this function. What you need to do is, whenever they give you such functions with step involved, you just put this entire step of x by 2 plus 1 in here and follow the similar process that I have explained you here, and then plot the graph. Same way as I have told you how to plot or get these values out of this. Similarly, you can put any function or any operations involved with step of x here, and then substitute the values, get the closed open dot, and then plot the graph. Okay, so this is one way of them testing your knowledge on the step function. Another way is very easy. They'll just ask you to, for example, say f of x is equal to function that they will give you in exam. Okay, these are like very easy problems if you understand the concept. So they'll ask you to find what is f of minus 1 by 3 here. Simply, you know for a fact that a function and they gave you to find f of x and this x value is minus 1 by 3, right? First try to remove this step and then substitute minus 1 by 3 in here. So what do you get? Minus 27 into minus 1 by 3 whole square plus 1. This will be what? Minus 27 into 1 by 9 plus 1, because square negative, it gets cancelled. So this will be 3. So it will be what? Minus 3 plus 1. So we get minus 2. Right? So that means if you remove this step and substitute minus 1 by 3 in this function, you get minus 2. But don't forget that you have step here. So after you get the value, after you get any value here, any real number, what you need to do is you need to apply step on it, because we have step in that function. So what is step of minus 2 here? It's just minus 2, because we know that integer value, there is no integral part and decimal part, so directly we'll get it as minus 2. That is how you will find the value of f of x, any x that they give you, substitute in the function, get the step, and then determine the answer. Sometimes you get decimal part, and then you will round it off to round the value down to the greatest integer, that is less than x. So this is all about greatest integer function. I hope you understood the concept taught in today's video. Please do apply these wherever you can, wherever you face such a step function in your problems. I think that I have made the concept very clear, and if you have any questions on the concept so far, please leave a comment down below so that I will be able to help you answer those questions. So if you want me to do a video on any topic for that matter, just leave a comment down below and I will definitely do that video. So if you like my video, I request you to please like, share and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell notification down below so that you will never miss an update from me. Please share my channel to whoever you can and whoever in need, and every one of your friends and family, so that I'll be able to grow on this platform. So I will see you all in my next video. Until then, please stay safe and be happy. Bye.